Welcome to Her Heart Speaks with this week's special guest, Tanicka Williams. Listen in, tune in as Her Heart Speaks.
How are you today?
I'm well. I'm feeling good. How are you?
I'm good. I am so thankful that you are allowing me to interview you. You know, we have known each other for about 3 years now.
Yes.
About 3 years now, and our first conversation was a long conversation at the diner. We laughed, we joked.
Yes. I'm so grateful for your spirit. I just want to say thank you for saying yes, because I didn't think that I had a chance with anybody on me just shooting the shot in the dark with this manuscript that was handwritten, then it was typed. I didn't know if the words was correct. I didn't know if the spelling was correct, but I'm so grateful to you for saying yes to me.
Well, it was a privilege, especially to, learn more about you because, we ran into each other in a poetry class. See, now I'm telling my business now
Yeah.
because that about me. So we ran into each other at a poetry class and, somehow we made the connection afterwards. And I'm thankful, like Miss Trice always says, everything happens in divine order. So I'm appreciative for what God is doing in all of our lives. And I'm appreciative for you giving us the opportunity to assist with this project. So,
of course.
Before we even get into your project, let's talk about who is Tanicka.
Well, I am Tanicka Williams. I am a mother, first and foremost. I am a poet, an author. I'm a motivational speaker. But at the end of the day, I'm just me. I'm just Tanicka Williams. I'm a mother of 3 sons. I'm a single mother. I am just a servant of God. And I'm just wanting to be a voice of people.
So you do so many things, Miss Tanicka, and I am just amazed. Now, I haven't heard your poetry in a while, but I don't know. What's that face? What's that face?
Because I haven't spit in forever.
We're gonna have to talk to Wisdom about that one. We're gonna have to talk about wisdom. Look, we get a lot of shout outs to a lot of powerful people on here today. Wisdom, Miss Trice. Listen, these women are awesome. So maybe we'll get them on the show in the future. So we'll pray about that.
Okay.
So tell us about your first book. So I'm going to start based off of some of the things that I got from it.
Okay.
One of the things that I was able to relate to where it was not an understanding of exactly who you are, who you want to be, and where you were going in life. And I can relate to that even at this age. So you have helped me to, what's the word I'm looking for? Dive deeper, not only personally, but spiritually.
Okay.
Be honest with myself. And, your book has a level of transparency that is rare to see for women our age. Many of us are living in I want to be Instagram famous and have on that complete mask, but you drop your mask, you destroyed it. You just opened your heart. You opened up to the world. I'm sitting up here like I got to the end of the book and I'm like, so what happens next? What happens next?
It's coming. I'm working on it. I'm definitely working on it. But I wanted to convey 3 main points, 3 main ingredients that I want, not just women, but I want people to understand. I want people to start taking self-love seriously. I want people to start taking their self-respect seriously. And most importantly, I want people to start taking self-inventory. We take for granted the lives that we live. We take for granted every day. We say, the Bible speaks to this, that we shape our lives around the words that we speak. But people don't understand that words is power. And I, for one, definitely took that for granted. When I was a little girl, I never understood what my life was going to be like, especially having a mother who was there, but she wasn't there. I can talk about it now because it's my life. I can talk about it now because I don't want to just be the only one living with this. I don't want to be the only woman having a mother who was a junkie and an absentee father. So growing up, I didn't have a relationship with my mother that I needed to have. And I say needed because I didn't know what my life was going to be like. And as I got older, I didn't know what I was supposed to be as a female, as a young woman growing up in society. You know, no one told me what having self-respect for myself was going to require. So as I got older, I had to find that out the hard way. Nobody ever told me that, you know, being a mother was going to carry a lot of weight. No one told me that being a woman was going to require dignity, integrity, and taking self-inventory for everything that I do and say. So as I got older, I just decided that, okay, I'm grown. I can do like every young woman does. I'm grown. I can do what I want. So doing what I want requires a reaction for every action that I did. So I had to learn how to have self-love. And now that I'm 37, I understand what that means. That means that I have to love myself first. And I didn't do that. I went from being a young woman to meeting somebody that I thought was going to be my partner to having their child and being a young mother at 21. Once again, I'm still lost in the crossfire because now I'm not only a young woman trying to figure out who I am, but now I'm somebody's mother. So now I have to figure out two things. Now I have to figure out what kind of woman I need to be for this partner that I'm with. And at the same time, I have to figure out how I'm going to care for this child that I just had. And you might as well say three qualities. I have to figure out what kind of woman I need to be for myself. I have to figure out what kind of partner I'm going to be for this man that I'm with. And I have to figure out what kind of mother that I'm going to be to this child that I just had. And that's where self-respects come in because I didn't know that just laying with somebody was going to be, I thought it was just fun. I thought it was just something that you do and then you move on. But no, once a child comes into play, now you got to carry the weight for this life that you created. But at the same time, you need to figure out what kind of person, what kind of woman that you're supposed to be for everybody involved, because now you done created this life with this man that's supposed to be your partner that's not respecting you. So what kind of respect are you going to have for yourself and still respect this person that you're supposed to be with, somebody that's supposed to be your partner, somebody that's supposed to be there supporting you? And I never learned that. I never learned how to pretty much love myself first. I never learned how to have integrity. I never learned what it was supposed to be mannerable. I never learned what kind of qualities a woman was supposed to have for herself before she even meet somebody that she even thinks is going to be her partner. So it took a while for me to get to a place to where I was going to even learn how to take self-inventory, because it took me years. I'm still learning how to take self-inventory because for every action becomes a reaction. So now I'm in a place to where now I have this child. I'm with this man that I think loves me. So now, okay, I'm in a position where I'm supposed to love him back, but how do I do that if I was never taught how to love in the first place? So now I'm learning. Now it's a long list of I got a long to-do list because now I have to learn how to first love myself first of all. That's like the biggest, I will say, chore. Because in order to love somebody else, you have to first love yourself. And if you don't know how to do that, you're just going through the motions of, all right, I'm with this person. So yeah, it's cute and it feels good. And that's the problem with women. We do a lot of things that feel good. And especially when we get with somebody, everything feels good. And it's cute on paper. But we don't understand the behind the scenes emotions that carry with that feeling that we have in our hearts, because sometimes our heart and our head don't always agree. So when I got with this man, it was cute, it was nice until once again we started having these.
Don't tell too much now. We need people to get this book. Don't tell too much.
Okay.
You
want. But I want women, and I want people to understand that you have to first understand how to love yourself. Once you learn how to love yourself, then you understand where self-respect comes in. And once you start self-loving and self-respecting yourself, then you need to take self-inventory, because for every action becomes a reaction. And we have to be accountable for the things that we say and do each and every day.
So you spoke to a lot of things, and we're in the same age bracket, and I'm not saying anything against the generation that's behind us, but I think that our generation some of us in our generation has a level of resilience and the ability to be able to push past things that we didn't have as children or adolescents or young adults, and even as older adults now, but we were able to push forward. So one of the things you said about self-care and self-worth, what about the young woman out here who's based in her self-worth, wealth, and everything on what they see on Instagram, what they see on Facebook? And not only the young women, but the young men. How do we get to them? How do we encourage them to be able to see themselves and to be able to stand strong in who they are today while they're moving forward to be who they want to be, and not a facade? A lot of us, rock our masks because we want to put on that appearance of what we need. And that's one part of the question. Another part of the question is, what did you think about? So you had life skills to be able to even have the resolve to take care of your husband and your child. A lot of these kids don't have that these days. They don't have that foundation of knowing that everything that is not cooked in a microwave or
right. You're so right about that. So right about that. And the only testament that I can have to that is because I have 3 teenage sons. So some young people today, they don't have the support system. So they feel as though they go to media, they go to Facebook, they go to Instagram, they go to Snapchat. So they make these filters and they think that they need to be somebody else because the person that they aren't being heard. They feel as though the person that they aren't being seen. And I was them. But when I was their age, it was a lot different. I didn't have media to go to. I didn't have these different measures, these different outlets to go to. So I can attest to saying that it's up to us as their support system to be there to let them know that they do have an outlet. They do have a support system. And it's up to us as their parents, as their supporters, as their, you want to say their groupies, their fans, to show them and let them know verbally, you can come to me. You can let me know what's on your mind, good, bad, or indifferent. I have 3 teenage sons, so I try to talk to them as much as I can. I try to be there. I try to be their fan, not their friend. Okay, let's not get it twisted. Not their friend, but I want to let them know that whatever you're going through, okay, you can talk to me. I may not be the right source to go to, but you can still lean on me. I can give you my ear. So a lot of these young teens, from what I see, boys and girls,
yes,
are going through the motions and they have no support. So because they feel as though they don't have any support, they act out.
yes,
They lash out.
yes,
Because they're angry and upset, disappointed. That's a great word. They're disappointed that they feel as though they don't have anybody in their corner. So it's up to us as adults to let them know, listen, I hear you. Not only do I hear you, but I'm listening to what it is that you're saying to me. And if you continue to lean on me, I will be here for you. But a lot of times, adults, because we're so caught up in our stuff, because we're so busy, because we feel as though children, and that's what we call them, children don't have a voice, and because we feel as though that they don't have, I want to say, supplemental reasoning right now, because we feel as though, oh, their stuff is not important. We let them down most times. And most times, okay, what do children do? All right, mommy and daddy not giving it to me, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get it from somebody else. And we need to dive deeper into the fact. And then we ask questions about, okay, well, why are you doing that? Why are you acting out? Why you, exactly. You know.
Exactly. You know, that's one of the things that I've had a conversation with my friends about. So many people are focused on the package of the child and not the message that's coming from the child. Especially us. I'm not saying us, me and you, but especially in the Christian world. So if a young man or young woman comes to me and their language is not supposed to be quote unquote Christian-like, or it's too mature for their age, am I supposed to turn my ear to them and tell them, you know, just lash out on them? Because that may be the only verbiage that they have to be able to express how they're feeling. And too many people, like you're saying, too many people are unable to meet the child where they are and want them to be where they're supposed to be. Like in the instance of not having someone to plant those seeds. Until they have the language to be able to share what they have to say, you have to be consistent. And that's another thing that I feel as though adults fail at, is being consistent. Being consistent and showing up for that child. Now, you can't be there for their every little whimper and stuff like that, but be consistent in some type of way. Like, okay, if you say that you're going to show up at a certain time to have lunch or something like that, or you're going to call, you may miss that time, but you still show up or have the effort to keep on trying. Or if a child is still, like you said, struggling with something, just because they're struggling don't mean you stop.
Right.
So you know, run into so many parents that just feel like, oh, this child is just too much, they're not going to listen and things like that, and just stop there and just give up. But what if someone would have gave up on us? And even parents in our generation, they are so caught up on the celebrities themselves that they're not putting those seeds that older generations have shown us. It may not have been our parents, but we saw different things within the community. We had community parenting and community teaching that helped move forward in those things, and we had a level of care. So how do we, and this is not a question that we'll answer now, but we'll continue to talk about this, but how do we get past the parent to the child?
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Her Heart Speaks. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe.